What's up, YouTube? Just wanted to get that little bit of stupidity out of my system once. My name is Magic Silver, and I'm bringing you my 4 racing tips to help improve your times on Trackmania. Trackmania is a time trial racing game where you compete with the rest of the world to achieve the best times on each track. Track lengths vary anywhere from 12 seconds to a minute, making each thousandth of a second extremely valuable for ranking against your friends and the world. And that brings us to our first tip. Keep your wheels on the ground. If your wheels are not on the ground, you're not accelerating. If you're not accelerating, someone's going faster than you are. You want to minimize any hang time as much as possible. Of course, there are sections where you're going to have to jump to continue the track, but trying to manage your speed into the jump with either a pump of the throttle or release of the throttle mid-air to air brake will get you back on the ground sooner and get you accelerating forward again. Here's an example of this in the very first track. Right at the beginning is a small ramp that if you're full throttle, you'll catch some air like the ghost cars I was racing with. With the pump of the gas right before the drop-off, I lessened the time I was in the air and was able to take more speed into that first corner, having an overall better time through this first section. And that brings us to our second tip. Make the track as short as possible. All cars have the same exact stats, so where you're going to get your advantage is by making the track shorter. Tighter lines through the turns is going to shave off precious time, and typically speaking, the more dangerous the line is, the faster it is.
I'm in danger!
Also, don't be afraid of the road less traveled. Sometimes cutting a corner through some trees or grass can be faster than the normal run. Be adventurous. Find your own way through the track, and if it's fast, who cares? Tip 3. Plan 2 turns ahead. Have a plan for the upcoming parts of the track. You want to try to exit your current turn or obstacle in a way that sets you up for the next as efficiently and fast as possible. With a proper plan, you can chain together some series of turns into one continuous turn, hitting their apexes and exiting full speed. This can be demonstrated early on in Track 5. There are a couple series of turns after the boost that if lined up well, you can carry full speed all the way to the first 90-degree turn with a good pace of time. Which brings me to my last tip, tip 4. Know your racing surfaces. In Trackmania, there are 4 racing surfaces. We have the road course, off-road dirt, snow, and road with the crown center. The road courses are really your baseline. There's typical grip and cornering abilities, nothing really major to speak on as far as mechanics. Just know going in at speed, you're going to carry through. If you release the throttle, you're going to have a little bit better cornering, and if you brake, do it in a straight line. Just make sure you're not turning. The next is going to be your dirt, or your off-road. This is going to provide more of a rally feel, and you're really going to need to start your turns a little sooner and be prepared for the slide. After a few times through some dirt corners, you'll really start to get a feel for how much throttle you can use, when you should let up, and what the typical slide is going to be like. The next is the snow or the ice, and it's arguably the most difficult. You're going to lose pretty much entire control of your car, and it's going to go into a complete slide. You're going to be able to influence the direction it goes by the amount of throttle, but what you're really doing is ultimately trying to set up the car to go straight through it, and you're just along for the ride. Courses with the snow or the ice, you're really going to want to try to utilize as edges of the track. Most of these are set up in a way that is going to help influence the car in the right direction if you can get the car where it needs to be. And lastly is the crown road. This is going to operate a lot like the road course, except for it's going to have this mound in the center. Though there are advantages of having this mound. For example, you get improved cornering if you can hold the inside line and be on the side of this hill. It'll allow you to carry more speed, be wide open throttle, but also be able to make turns that you otherwise wouldn't on a flat track. Using this surface correctly will give you a huge advantage, but it doesn't come without its risks. For example, if you try to carry too much speed into one of these corners, while you do have the improved cornering, it's not enough always to save you, and you might just ramp off the track entirely. So to recap on what you're going to want to do to improve your times on Trackmania is ultimately 1. Keep your wheels on the ground. 2. Make the track as short as possible. 3. Plan 2 turns ahead. And 4. Know your racing surfaces. If you enjoyed this video, please consider dropping a like and hitting that subscribe button for future content. And also check out my Twitch channel. I can be found at twitch.tv/magicsilvergaming, where I'll be going live and playing various titles and possibly even some more Trackmania. Take care.